Welcome to the Seahawkers podcast with your hosts, Adam Emmert.
I'm going to say something not negative about Penny.
And Brandon Schultz.
The creepy look on its face is part of the charm.
Go Hawks!
This is episode 232 of the Seahawkers podcast. I'm Brandon Schultz of the Military Seahawkers. Joining me once again across the table, my good buddy, Montana Seahawker Adam Emmert.
Still alive and kicking, man. We made it to, what is this, week 16?
Week 16 or 14, like you said before we started the show.
I don't know. This is all blurred together, dude. Like, this time of year is just a madhouse. And coming into this week, like, it's taken me a while just to realize, oh, right, it's the Chiefs again this week. Like, well, not again, but like, it's the...
Yeah,
Chiefs.
It's time for the Chiefs.
It's time for the Chiefs. I had no idea where we were for like 2 or 3 days.
And then we have the Cardinals, and then the regular season's over.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. How did that happen? Like, we're already at the end of the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to need more games. So the Seahawks are going to need to make the playoffs.
They're going to need to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for the season to be over.
No.
Well, we will talk about their updated playoff odds after the loss to San Francisco. We have a look at this week's injury report, and we've got some transactions this week to talk about. Also, we have a game to look forward to.
Yeah.
With the Chiefs.
Yeah, an interesting game. Yeah, a lot of people already saying, well, that's a loss.
Are they?
I haven't seen anybody say that it's going to be a win.
Don't they have to play the game first?
According to the rules, I think that's how it works. Yeah. And not only that, but I think like if you look at the two teams, like I'm saying there's a chance.
Right.
Like not even just a chance, like a significant chance.
Where are we playing this game?
Oh, wait. Yeah. Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty good there. Wait, what time are they playing it?
In prime time.
Oh, yeah. We're pretty good at that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how good?
Like all the goods.
16-2.
Okay.
At home in prime time.
That's pretty darn good. And, with a Chiefs team that has something that they call a defense.
It is a defense.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I guess they're invincible, so.
Well, we'll get into that. There's one thing I wanted to look back on to the game against the 49ers.
Yeah.
I know. But it was really the call of the game and the play of the game. And Chris Carson, going back to that, 4th and 1 on the 1 yard line. Steve Rabel with the call.
Okay.
It's great.
Russell from the shotgun. Carson the single setback on 4th and 1. Bit of a high snap. Carson takes a handoff. Is he going to make it? No, he's not. No, he keeps driving. I think he might have got there. He did. Holy catfish. Chris Carson kept driving his legs, and he fights his way in. Touchdown, Seahawks.
So he calls him short just a little too early because it did. It looked like he stopped.
Oh, yeah, I totally was like, you got to be, like, that's where I was at. I was going to finish it with, you got to be kidding me. We actually didn't punch it in. I was like, oh, wait, look. Oh, he's got it. He's in.
And like you said, in the reaction show, you're kind of personally invested because I think all of us were of that mind that, just keep trying the run.
Absolutely. Just give it to him again. Do it again. I said that after every play. Do it again. And in fact, even if he had been stopped, I would have said they should have just gone out there anyways, even though it's not
down.
On 5th down and done it again, just out of principle.
Yeah. Well, I did have to go on to the Better Rivals podcast this week and listen to a little bit of gloating.
Yeah, okay.
Because they did get their first win in 5 years.
Yeah, that was nice.
I felt like I owed it to Oscar a little bit just because after all he's done for our show. Like
a handout is a hand up, right. just give him a hand up and be like, I see you over there, buddy. And it'd be neat for this to actually become a rivalry again so that it makes sense with your show title.
Right.
I want you to be better rivals.
It's accurate.
Is that what you told him?
I totally missed opportunity.
Okay.
No, I did mention to him that he seemed awfully happy about losing the top draft pick. Because one thing that he reminded me of, I was just assuming that the 49ers got to their 4 wins by beating Seattle. They beat Denver the week before. And then I was thinking they must have beaten the Cardinals twice.
No, they lost to the Cardinals twice.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster year. For Niners fans, mostly lows though. Mostly lows.
Well, we're hoping that our roller coaster bounces back up a little bit this week. But
either this week or next week, I'll take either. But I would rather do it sooner than later. This team has a tendency to go late in the season, have a gimme they could have, and just crap the bed basically, and then have to struggle down the stretch to get that one last win to get in the playoffs. The team does this, like whether to clinch a bye or to get in the playoffs themselves. We seem to do this all the time.
If we can only go 1-1 over the next 2 weeks, now I know for a fact that we can go 2-0 because it's possible.
Right.
But if somebody said you have to go 1-1 over the next couple weeks, which game do you pick to win?
Mm-hmm.
I picked the Arizona game because there's conditions attached to the win over Kansas City.
Yeah.
To clinch the playoffs, according to all the playoff scenarios, to actually clinch, they have to get the win, and either Minnesota or Washington has to lose.
Oh.
And because it's strength of schedule within the division.
Weird.
For Washington.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily know why Minnesota. I guess because they're only half a game behind us.
Yeah, there must be some math there.
We either needed the win over the Niners or the Cardinals to get the division record up above the level to where either Philly or Washington can't catch us.
Right. Okay.
That's annoying.
That is annoying.
The Chiefs are the better team. I feel like if we beat the Chiefs, we beat the better team.
Right.
It should count for something.
You would think so. Look, yeah, that game was uncharacteristic against the 49ers that they lost there, just in the sense that the penalties themselves, like just the sheer volume of them. But I mean, you look down the board and the rest of the game, you look at the stats and everything. It's like they played Seahawks football.
Mm-hmm.
Like that should have equaled a win.
Yeah, not with penalties.
No.
You had the penalties, you had the weather, you had the field conditions, you had just a lot of things working to kind of equalize the two teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating. I'm still frustrated by it.
I've tried to stop thinking about it, and I thought we were going to just move on to the Chiefs game, but you wanted to go back, so that's cool. Hey,
I wanted to talk about Chris Carson.
And Merry Christmas to me. Thank you.
Well, let's look at the injury report from this week, because we do have some players that...
What the hell happened to T2? All of a sudden, I'm looking and now he's not practicing.
Yeah, he was chest ankle.
He has a chest ankle?
Chest/ankle. That's what he's listed as.
Chest/ankle. I thought if you had a chest ankle, that would be a problem.
That could be a problem.
You have an ankle growing out of your chest, you should probably not be practicing.
Well, maybe he hurt his ankle on the field and then landing on his chest so many times onto that field.
Or he's really flexible and he landed on his ankle with his chest.
Yeah, you could do that.
I wouldn't practice for a few days if I did that.
No.
I don't know. But Pete hasn't addressed it, so I guess he's just hurt. So neat.
We'll see Friday, because a lot of these guys, here's the list of the guys that didn't practice on Thursday. So you're kind of concerned, but you're hoping that they can come back on Friday and then be ready in time for the game.
Right.
DJ Fluker with his hamstring. You got Rashad Penny with his knee. Bradley McDougald with his knee, and apparently was flying out of town for the fancy knee treatment. And you got Jaron Reed with oblique groin, but he was questionable going into the game last week with the same issue. So hopefully he can just bounce back and continue to be awesome. Yeah.
Well, we're really going to be counting on Fluker. I think Fluker and McDougald are the two in there that I look at and go, I really want those two. And then, I mean, KJ as well would be the next one.
And KJ Wright was limited in practice along with Frank Clark on Thursday. So they're out there working.
Yeah.
And Clark hasn't missed anything here recently. But safety, Bradley McDougald is the biggest concern for me, because who else do you have? You got Delano Hill, Mo Alexander, and Shalom Luani. You got three dudes.
Right.
If both McDougald and Thompson can't make it.
Alexander has starting experience with the Rams, so he's not a total scrub. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's a serviceable guy.
Yeah. And I feel like there's some growth in Hill.
He is so up and down in his play. Like, there are definitely times where I look at Delano out there on the field and I'm like, dang, man, like, he could be that kind of enforcer that, kind of sneaks up in the box and thumps people and still covers good enough and all that stuff. And then there's times where I'm like, oh my God, he's a dumpster fire. Get him off the field.
I feel that way with T2 sometimes, though.
I have fewer dumpster fire moments with T2. Yeah.
And then looking at full participants, you got Baldwin and Shaquill Griffin. Good to see Baldwin back in the full participation column.
That's true. We're going to need him. We're going to have to score points to keep up with that Kansas City offense a little bit. I mean, the Chiefs are going to put up points.
Oh, yeah.
But that magic number this week is probably 30 again, right? I mean, is that I think that's the new NFL magic number. You keep Chiefs below 30. I feel like the Seahawks can easily hang 30 on these guys.
I think it's possible. I want to look a little bit at the scores of Kansas City just to see if that's how they've performed when they've scored 30 or fewer points. Before we get there, I want to talk updated playoff odds. Now we're kind of going back to a pain point again because we were at a 99% chance to make the playoffs last week.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're down to a 96.
So I don't know. Wringing my hands.
3%.
Yeah.
Odds to win the Super Bowl, 1.7%.
Oh, okay. What are the highest odds, though?
Well, their opponent this week has their playoff spot locked up, and of course they want the number 1 seed, and they're the number 2 team in terms of Super Bowl odds. 23.4% chance to win the Super Bowl.
So even if you have the best odds, it's not even a coin flip.
No, it's
still a long shot.
It's just under a quarter.
Yeah.
So the Saints are the one team that's higher, 28.1%.
Okay.
The Rams, 11.1.
That's 11% high.
You give them a 0.1 chance to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, even a blind squirrel finds a net once in a while. That team's falling apart,
so
man.
Seattle at 1.7 has a better chance in your mind.
Oh, easily, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
It's happening, Brandon, with the Rams.
I can't wait. We need to play the Rams in the postseason.
I need it really badly in my life.
I feel like we kind of need them to be the 1 seed to make it work out better for us.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the best case scenario is. Just make it happen, NFL. Like there's got to be a way. They could easily. I think if they slipped out of the first round bye situation,
yeah,
that would be the best case scenario.
That's true. But then we'd have to slip down to. I don't think they'd go all the way to 4, so we'd have to slip to the 6th spot.
Who cares?
Oh yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, which is possible. It's possible to slip to the 6th.
So if we get the win over Kansas City and the Vikings win, we might be rooting for the Vikings to win in week 17 and the Seahawks to lose to the Cardinals just so we can play the Rams in the wild card round if they lose the next couple games.
I don't know. It all depends if a butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon, you know?
Yeah.
Let's kind of see when we get there, right?
Just trying to play out the scenarios a little bit early.
Yeah, I know you love it. You can when we're done with the podcast, you can go and find the ESPN playoff odds machine thingy and start doing the permutations there.
I can't get the Seahawks into the number 1 spot anymore, so I haven't really messed with it.
Oh, I see. That's when you're out.
Last week, it was possible to get the Seahawks into the number 1 spot by picking the Rams to lose out.
Yeah,
that was the last time I did it.
Okay.
Now it's depressing.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't get the Seahawks any better than number 5 seed.
I don't know. The fact that they're in isn't depressing to me. And the fact that the Rams might indeed lose out.
Well, okay, not depressing, but it just peeves me.
The joy is gone.
Yeah. Part of the joy is figuring out the way to get the Seahawks on top.
See, this is why I feel like in my life, not having done that is good for me because I'm just super stoked about the idea of the playoffs. And we're going to have more Seahawks football. Yeah,
I am stoked about that. I want home Seahawks football.
Well, I'm not going one way or the other. I'm going to be working, so I don't much care where it's played.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, because it's all about me and how it affects me. Let's get that straight.
Maybe it works out to where they're going to be playing near where you're doing some mill work.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. There's a possibility.
Yeah, you're down New Orleans area sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be in Arkansas a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dirty Saints fans down there.
Yeah,
they're mixed in with the Dirty Cowboy fans. See, what's really cool.
Are you allowed to call people dirty?
Oh, sure.
I heard that this week that you're not allowed to do that.
I don't care. So here's the thing. Like, I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form in my you're real life. I'm a teamist. This is where I put those sort of feelings because it doesn't matter. And there's only sports hate behind it, not like actual hate.
We have a lot of sponsors that we could lose by calling people dirty.
Oh, yeah? But we could gain a lot of soap companies.
Let's move on to the Chiefs.
They could use some shampoo.
Well, bring some soap to hand to any of the dirty Chiefs fans that you see roaming around the
like my dad.
They're pretty good, though.
Yeah, they are pretty good. That quarterback is special. But
only 3 losses this year.
Right. And one of those 3 losses occurred. Big time games on the road.
And 1 at home. 43-40 in New England, week 6. 54-51 in LA, week 11. And then 29-28 at home last week.
So is the magic number 50? Or 40?
Yeah, above 42 or above.
What's the least amount of points they've lost by? Like that the team beat them by?
3.
No, like their total. What was the total out of those 3 scores? The lowest that their opponent scored.
29.
Okay. So, all right, there we go.
For the Chargers.
Okay, we got to get above 29.
They've been held under 30 3 other times, apart from that game at home last week. You had week 4, the Denver Broncos held them to 27 points. In week 10, the Cardinals held them to 26.
That was an oddball game.
An oddball game. Well, the Chiefs were probably like, we don't want to hurt their feelings too much.
The Chiefs were probably like, they woke up Sunday and they're like, wait, what? We have a game today?
Yeah.
Against who? Oh, that's still a team? The Cardinals? Okay. And they like went out there and played.
They didn't game plan or anything.
They just were like, they were caught off guard. It was like an impromptu game.
And then they won 27-24 in week 14 versus Baltimore and KC.
Okay.
Baltimore, Denver. Those are pretty good defenses.
San Diego's a good defense.
Yeah. We don't have that good of a defense.
Not this banged up.
No.
But I mean, if Nick Mullins, carves you up for a lot of yards, I would like to think that the Mahomes would. He's pretty good.
And he has Travis Kelce. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, pretty good.
So those are really your 2 guys, though. Like, Sammy Watkins is not having a $14 million a year type of year.
He's hurt, isn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think Watkins is out.
Oh, okay.
I think they brought in Benjamin.
Oh, yeah. No, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still can't run.
Well, when you bounce around from Carolina to Buffalo to Kansas City, I mean.
Right. And basically do squat in all places.
When you're a big dude who can catch a football, teams look for that.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but he looked a lot bigger in the Chiefs uniform than he did the other 2.
Oh, really?
To me. I don't know. The first time I saw him in the Chiefs uniform, I was like, holy crap, he is enormous.
Probably because he was standing next to Tyreek Hill.
I think that might have been it. Yeah. Tyreek Hill is terrifying. I mean, out of all the weapons, that's the guy that I look at and I'm like, that he's the guy that will, just eat your lunch at any given point. No Kareem Hunt, obviously, because he's a crappy person.
Yeah.
And then they brought Spencer Ware back for a little bit, right? And then he got hurt.
Oh, is he hurt now?
I think so.
Oh.
I don't know who they got going now, running back. I'm super prepared for this podcast today. But, I mean, they're still going to score points. Andy Reid is still creative, but also Andy Reid down the stretch, like, that's not a great record for him. In close games, Mahomes has looked overwhelmed at times in primetime games on the road. They're not the same team on the road. And compound that with it being in Seattle as far as it's just different there. I mean, they're not, on the road in LA in a shootout. You know what I mean? And the fact that the Seahawks have the best defense against that offense, and that's a running game. And just to flat keep the ball out of the offense's hands all day.
And speaking of the running game, that's one of the things where the Chiefs and their defense, we've talked about how great the offense is, number 1 in DVOA for the league, but that defense, not good. 27th in the league. And when you look at their DVOA just for against the run, the Chiefs are the worst in the league.
Oh, man.
So when you couple that with the fact that how good the Seahawks are in their running game, putting up more yards than any other team this year.
Right.
That, like you mentioned, is the way to keep Mahomes off the field.
Yeah.
So if you can keep this game close, now, if there's turnovers, if this starts to get away from the Seahawks early, I don't know if I can trust them to put up a ton of points.
You can't get down more than 14.
Yeah.
But they never do.
Because of that pass rush for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because they have dudes.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Houston, Tom Bali, like those guys.
And they even in the Pro Bowler, the other pass rusher, is it Jones or something like that?
Okay, cool.
I was like, he's one of the league leaders in sacks, apparently. I'm like, I know Justin Houston. Who's this other guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they found him in the parking lot or something.
Eric Berry's starting to play more now.
Yeah, he was back for the first time last week. It didn't seem like his presence made an enormous difference, but a hell of a player throughout his career. I don't know where he's at now with all of the different injuries and illnesses over the course of his career.
He seemed fine out there,
I guess.
Yeah.
This is one of those games I think that's one of the harder ones to predict, just in the sense that these teams are couldn't be more different in almost every aspect.
And that's why I'm curious to see how this team's going to defend the Chiefs, because I feel like they should have learned something from facing the Rams twice and how they can attack the Chiefs offense this week, because we kind of saw them change it up a little bit against the Vikings. They weren't as concerned about the run. They were more concerned about Thielen and Diggs. And now here you have two other receivers that you have to concern yourself with Hill and with Kelce. So are they going to focus more on stopping Hill and Kelce and be not so much concerned about the run? Because as we mentioned, we beyond Spencer Ware, we're not really sure who they have.
Damian Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
D. Will.
So he is he's a guy. He plays football for the Chiefs. He also wears number 26. He plays football. Did I mention that? I don't know. Like, that's all I know about Damian Williams. Have you ever heard of Damian Williams before?
No. Did he go to some obscure school like Central?
Doesn't really
East
say.
Central Oregon.
His position rank is not listed on Pro Football Focus because I think he's only played. Well, let's see.
Not enough stats.
It looks like he's somehow been in the league since 2014.
Okay.
Doing something. He might have been a water boy.
Good old D. Will.
If he runs for like 500 yards on us, I'm going to be so pissed.
That would be maddening.
Yeah.
I expect Mahomes to be the one that would beat you.
Yeah.
Because he's the one getting it done all year. And you have to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes.
And even when you do, good luck a little bit.
Even when it depends on the way you do it. But yeah, even when you do, good luck to he under pressure. I think he has 1,200 yards passing this year.
Yeah.
But his passer rating is very different. 135.8 passer rating, 37 touchdowns when you don't get pressure on Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
37 touchdowns.
Yeah, I heard you. I was trying not to think about it.
But when you do get pressure on him,
yeah,
70.3 passer rating, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Okay.
So that ratio.
Right.
Blitzing doesn't work, though.
Yeah.
He has 124 passer rating when blitzed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can attribute that a little bit to the Andy Reid scheme. Like, I mean, he's always got an outlet for him, and it's he's a smart player. He's smart enough, anyways, and
he's quick. He can get away from the rush.
Yep, and he's got the arm to go with it,
and he's got 2 solid tackles.
Oh yeah, the power of the Schwartz.
Yeah,
so that's kind of fun. No, their whole offensive line is actually pretty darn good as a whole. Apparently, right guard is not the position of weakness for them, but. Yeah, a good group all the way around.
So maybe we'll see some stunts.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play games up front, and like you said, maybe not get your majority of your pressure through blitzing because they'll tear you apart, man.
Well, some transactions going into this game. Jordan Simmons put on IR.
Dude,
this week.
That was a bummer, and I know a lot of people are starting to be like, man, this Jordan Simmons guy's a little bit of a revelation. Like maybe you hold on to him instead of Fluker next year. But you see this happen, and then you look at his college career, and all I see is the CJ Procise of offensive linemen.
That's why I think maybe you just have to carry Fluker and Simmons and hope you have one healthy guy for that spot at any given time. It's kind of who he's been over his football career.
Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, but again, health is a part of talent. So
Bo Scarborough, former thumper at running back for Alabama, signed off the Jacksonville practice squad this week.
Yeah. I liked him in college for Alabama, and he's got a really great name.
Bo Scarborough.
Yeah, that sounds like a dude that can really thump people on the goal line for sure.
Well, Pete Carroll likes him too, said he's a hammer. He runs big and strong, a slasher, real physical guy. He's a big kid, and he handles the ball well, catches the ball well. He was a big-time player at Alabama that had so many backs that nobody got featured, but he was legit.
Ooh, he was legit.
Breaking out the legit word.
Uh-oh. Chris Carson, look out for your job. Pete Carroll may have just fallen in love with his next running back.
One thing about the Seahawks, though, they are kind of good at picking up running backs.
Oh, yeah.
You brought up Spencer Ware.
I know.
That was the guy the Seahawks drafted.
Yep.
They got the dude down in Dallas. He couldn't make the Dallas team because Rod Smith was down there too.
Yep.
And that was the guy who the Seahawks picked up and then shipped off to Dallas because they have so many guys in the preseason where they go, we can't keep all these guys on the roster. Troy Maine Pope's still floating around. I think he's with the Raiders now.
Yeah. I mean, they've done basically their worst running back pickup has been Kristen Michael.
And he's still in the league.
I know. Yeah, which is amazing. But yeah, Bo Scarborough, legit.
Yeah, maybe we'll see him a little bit this week. But even if Penny can't go, you still have.
When did he hurt his knee, by the way?
It was before the 49ers game.
Yeah, I know, but when in that game? Like, I in the Action Green game.
It was either in the Action Green game or in practice that week.
Yeah, I didn't see him get hurt in the Action Green game.
No.
Yeah, maybe he kept wearing like the bottoms in practice or something and got himself hurt.
You just want to tie all injuries to that jersey color somehow.
I'm just saying.
Look, that jersey color is on every jersey.
Yeah. As an accent. Yeah. It's beautiful as an accent. Everybody thinks I hate the color altogether. No. I love it as the secondary color, the accent color. It's sweet. It pops.
Well, like we mentioned, the Seahawks are 16-2 at home in primetime under Pete Carroll. Just 2 losses. One back in 2015 to Arizona, 39-32. And then last year lost at home to Atlanta, 34-31.
So it was Atlanta. And what was the first one?
Arizona in 2015.
Oh, yeah.
Back when they were good.
Yeah, so it's a rarity. There's no doubt about that they lose in prime time. And you got to think, too, this team's got to be just kicking themselves over that Niners game and should be pretty fired up and pretty focused. You know, I mean, I would think they have a good record of bouncing back after just craptastic losses. They
have some milestones that they need to try and catch this week, too.
Are milestones fast?
I know. No.
They're hard to catch?
They are hard to. Well, no, they're pretty stationary, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, you said they had to catch milestones, so I didn't know.
I'm on milestone watch.
Oh, okay. All right.
Doug Baldwin can get at the 3rd place for the most yards by a Seahawks receiver.
Woo.
Just needs 36 yards to pass.
Woo.
Daryl Jackson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it seems like he needs to have more than D-Jack.
Yeah.
But loved me some Daryl Jackson.
The top 2 guys are going to be a little bit more difficult
you
to
think?
put down. Largent and Blades.
Yeah.
Chris Carson, 87 more yards to become the first 1,000-yard rusher since Marshawn in 2014.
Yeah, it's time for that, right?
Mm-hmm. This one was surprising to me.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Clark needs 1 sack, and he passes Cliff Averill on the all-time Seahawks list.
Yeah.
With 35, which puts him into the top 10 of Seahawks sack leaders.
It's funny because we all identify Cliff Averill as a Seahawk, right? Like, that's how I think of him.
Uh-huh.
And he played the majority of his career with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Right. He only came over in 2013.
Right. So
with Bennett. So 13, 14. Not too many seasons.
So I can see how Clark would be ahead of that.
Still 5 seasons. Cliff Averill. Clark's not to 5 seasons yet.
No, he's been a man amongst boys, man.
And I think of Cliff Averill as being a pretty good. I mean, he was the master of the strip sack.
Well, Frank Clark is the master of the Brinks truck.
He's going to be backing it up.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Lockett's next catch will beat his career high with 52 catches in the season.
Oh, okay. Good for Tyler.
And Russell Wilson, 4 more touchdown passes, and he'll be number 1 in Seahawks history, passing Dave Craig.
How do you feel about that, Brandon?
I'm okay with it.
Oh, okay.
I like Dave Craig.
You get very protective of Dave Craig.
His number. I'm protective of his number, not his records.
Everything.
Russell Wilson can have all of the Seahawks pass records.
I'm with you, man.
He's almost there. He's almost tracked them all down.
Well, he's leading in the one stat that I think is the most important of all time Seahawks quarterbacks.
Wins.
Super Bowl wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does have
He's got 1. Everybody else, none.
0.
Yeah.
I'd like him to get more than 1.
Oh, I think it's coming.
People say that about Andrew Luck, too.
Oh, Andrew Luck's still young.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, he's a hell of a player. I mean, the idea that he's taken this Colts team that's dreadful and gotten them this far is just amazing.
One thing that Andrew Luck and Russell Wilson have in common, not voted as starters into the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl stuff was a little weird.
Bobby Wagner gets a spot, and Michael Dickson in his rookie season. Both voted in to the Pro Bowl.
More than deserving.
Although Bobby Wagner, not the starter.
What?
Yeah. Kuechly voted in as the starter.
This is why I don't care about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But the Seahawks do have 7 Pro Bowl alternates. Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, J.R. Sweezy, Frank Clark, Bradley McDougald, K.J. Wright, and Tyler Lockett.
Wait,
special teams.
Sweezy sucks. How does he get into the Pro Bowl? Like, I'm looking at
he's not in the Pro Bowl.
Well, I mean, even voted in as an alternate. Like, I'm looking at Pro Football Focus right now.
And they say it's terrible?
And he's the worst of all the offensive linemen with a rating of 45.5. where Dwayne Brown is the highest rated at 79.9 and as a high quality player in their opinion, and not even an alternate, huh?
No Dwayne Brown.
That's how you know. Say it with me, folks. The Pro Bowl doesn't matter.
There's a lot more good tackles than good guards. Look at Ethan Posick last year making the all-rookie team as a guard.
Yeah, he was
and
okay.
He can't even make it on the field this year.
But it was only among rookie guards.
Right.
Yeah, that's a small pool you're swimming in at that point.
Yeah.
Like how many guards are playing as a rookie? Like 6 at best. Like all you got to do is be a human being out there, and you're probably going to be the best of all them. Yeah. No, I mean, I think out of all the guys that you look at as far as snubs go, Dwayne Brown is far and away, to me, the number one snub.
Jaron Reed is the guy for me.
Okay. I can see that. He doesn't have the name recognition, I think, is what really hurt him. Dwayne Brown's been recognized as a big-time player.
Yeah. Well, he made it last year, and he didn't even play until 8.
Yeah.
And made the Pro Bowl.
Right, and he's been playing better this year than he did last year.
Well, that kind of, it is a little bit. So the reputation does matter, which is the reason why I think KJ Wright got picked as an alternate.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't played much this year.
No, he's played, 3-4 games?
Yeah. So,
as much as I love KJ Wright, there's somebody else who actually is playing that should be there somewhere around the league, And if
you haven't checked it out, there's a great article by Field Goals that shows just why Jaron Reed, by all the numbers, is producing at a level similar and even better as a pass rusher than Akeem Hicks of the Bears.
Okay. I mean, he's had a heck of a season. And is he in a contract year this year?
Next year.
Okay.
So he's coming up on it. Jaron Reed's going to get paid.
Yep.
By somebody.
Yep.
I hope it's Seattle.
Well, see, I mean, you kind of learn your lesson a little bit about paying defensive players. I mean, I guess the first contract, or I guess it's technically your second. Your first one's the rookie deal.
Yeah, the first big one.
Yeah, the first big one. I think that's proven to be a wise investment, but I don't think you hand out the third one. I think that's when you got to move on from all these guys.
Not Bobby.
Look,
not Bobby. Stop it.
I'm just saying.
All right, Adam, what do you say we get into some email?
Done.
First, let's congratulate Bash Brothers, Alex and Alan, Texas, on winning the Shaq Griffin hat this week.
Well, congrats, dude. Yeah, I don't even know how my picks turned out.
Both picks right. I think we both had 9.
That's one of the things that made me feel better about the San Francisco loss is it was Bizarro week in the NFL.
Yeah.
All sorts of weird stuff happened. Like the Cowboys getting blanked.
That wasn't weird. That was exactly what I predicted.
No, that was weird.
I told you they'd get dominated by
that was weird, man. Colts. You were right and I was wrong. You're the best, I'm the worst. You're good looking. I'm unattractive.
That's all I wanted to hear.
You're smart. I'm dumb.
I did the Pick'em show with Anthony this week, and I needed him to give me the same kind of feedback on my correctness.
How'd that go?
It went well. He did a good job.
Oh, okay.
Telling me how awesome I was.
Oh, well,
catfish!
I wish I would have known that. Then I would have not given that to you right here. Yeah. Like you'd already gotten it. You don't need double validation.
I do.
You know what? Your pick sucked, and that was just blind luck.
We'll find out this week. I brought in See, Anthony was my secret weapon in picks this week because he's been terrible this year. And so there's so many picks where he made that I know that I could go, I know that's wrong, and now I'm going to be right by bouncing, just by going off of his incorrectness aura.
Got you. So I think he'll be terrible at picking forever in life because he started out football picks the wrong way. He picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as his favorite team.
Right.
Yeah. He did that to himself.
He recognizes some of the errors in his ways, but he can't not be a Bucs fan now.
Well, he could. So he could save himself. We may need to have an intervention.
A little intervention. Well, next week for the Pick'em League, for our VIP flockers, Jaron Reed signed photo on the line.
Ooh, that could be worth some big money here.
Yeah.
In another year or two. When people actually recognize his name and he keeps that production up.
And he doesn't get Jaron Reed.
Right. Jaron Brown.
Jaron Brown and Jaron Reed being on the same team is very confusing to announcers.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Because in some games they'll call them both by the same. They'll call them both Jaron,
right?
Or they'll call them both Jaron,
right?
Or sometimes they'll switch it and they'll call Jaron Brown Jaron Brown.
Well, the Jaron, I have a lot more sympathy for because it's like those two twin boxers that were defending their title this last week or whatever, and it was Yeah, it was something like that. It was like, Jermaine and Jamal. Something super close. Like, good luck keeping that.
Rashad and Rashard.
Yeah, like, go screw yourself when you name people that close together. Come on.
Brett and Sydney. We know how to say Brett's name.
Yeah.
He says, gentlemen. I like that, gentlemen.
Oh, well, it's a little off, but...
It wasn't that long ago that the Seahawks offensive line was one of the worst in the league and a constant ranting target of Adam Emmert. Yeah. Jermaine Ifedi couldn't play, neither could George Fant, and Russ was only one play away from ending up in the hospital. How is it that this line is now one of the best in the league with the same right tackle, same center, left tackle? Was Tom Cable really a bad coach? Is Mike Solari a genius? Has Jermaine Ifedi really improved that much? Really liking the Legion Boom 2.0 and the play of Bobby Wagner this season. Looking forward to the playoffs and Pete Carroll finally getting Coach of the Year. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. So you never quit anything in your life. Never. You go hard and you go to the bell and you never, ever quit. Unless it's Cable.
You quit Cable.
You quit Cable.
Part of me feels like Tom Cable was that bad of a coach. Like, how can it be that much of a turnaround? Now, I think with Jermaine Ifedi, it is a matter of being in his fourth year in the league. Mm-hmm. And we saw it with Carpenter a few years, right before that contract year is also about the time that you've had, it takes time to learn these positions.
Right.
Especially coming out of college and, doing things differently. Mm-hmm. So I think that may be where we are with Ifedi. I think we would have seen some progression anyway. But I think having Fluker next to him too has also helped.
It's not just a one-person problem on the offensive line all these years. Everybody's played like hot garbage.
Yeah.
And now everybody plays at least competent, if not well, even when backups come in like Jordan Simmons. Mm-hmm. So I think at this point, yes, I think it's safe to say that Tom Cable is no good. That's how it is. I mean, not only that, but then let's take the evidence that has followed him now down to Oakland.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Pro bowler along the offensive line and a couple rookie tackles. Okay, fine. And they're a hot mess.
How many wins do they have this year? 3, 4?
I don't know.
Not good.
Yeah. Count them on just your fingers on one hand, and that's not even including your thumb.
It's been pretty interesting how they're using George Fant this year, though.
What I like about this is I think this is an amazing happy medium for me and you. I think they did this to help our relationship.
Oh?
Yeah, because you get your Fant out on the field, and you're a big fan. I don't have to see him play left tackle. And he even gets to catch a pass now and then. And he makes a difference. And it's a unique thing that the announcers bring up, the idea that, we're playing Smash Mouth football. And it is a throwback. And, it works in every way for me.
I need George Fant catching more passes. That's where it's gotten to me.
Okay, by more, how many more?
Throw his way at least once a game.
God, no. I need 2 more pass attempts thrown his way throughout a season.
Okay.
And I'm
for
good.
The rest of the season. Gotcha.
Yeah.
1 per
No, not the rest of the season. Three targets over the course of an entire season.
Adam,
and
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah. 3
per season.
Right.
He's gotten 1, so 1 more the rest of the way.
No, 2 more the rest of the way.
Per game.
Oh, yeah, no, not per game. All right, George Fant is dividing us again. This isn't good. I tried to bring us together.
You did.
This is a season for, caring, putting down your hatred for one another and coming together, and then you're trying to divide us again.
No,
I'm a uniter, not a divider.
Got an email here from Horseboy25. Says, my name is Chase. Been a Hawks fan for as long as I can remember growing up. This podcast is my only source for Seahawks info or reactions. National media upsets me with their unwavering hatred of the Seahawks. Evident greatness. Keep it up, guys. We'll be getting into the flock as soon as possible. Merry Christmas from what seems to be the only Hawks fan in Madison, Wisconsin.
Sorry it's lonely there, man. Go Hawks, dude. I appreciate you listening. And I'd like to think that we kind of... I understand that we're homers. We're not pretending to not be. We are what we are.
There's different classes of homerism.
Correct. Yeah.
There's homerism that will not criticize under any circumstance.
Correct.
And I feel like we're just to the other side of that.
Right. Would it be to the left or the right? What would you say?
It's the other side.
I don't know. That's hard to say. Yeah. But, I think we're quite a ways away from the don't criticize ever. I feel like that's 80% of what I do on this show. Why do we suck at this?
Now, could you be a homer who always criticizes? That's why I don't know if there's a left or a right. I think we're just to the side.
Maybe. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
No, is Adam Nathan with the Pedestrian Podcast a homer?
I'm going to go with yes.
And he always criticizes.
I know. And he does wear the team colors. He, says he's a Seahawks fan.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
This is questionable. Yeah. We'll have to work this out.
Look, he's got a lot of contradictions going on in his life. I mean, specifically having 2 first names, like that's already you're in bad shape.
And then he likes a team called the Spurs, but it's not the basketball team. I see his tweets going on and on about the Spurs. I'm like, oh man, San Antonio basketball.
Right.
But no, it's some soccer team.
You're like, did Popovich do something amazing again coaching? No, it has something to do with guys who don't use their hands to play sports. This is weird.
And what a weird team name, Hotspurs. Like, you see why they shorten it. It's like the Supersonics. Like, they call them
here's the thing. Like, what were they taking the Spurs and like dipping them in fire and then like taking them out and like branding things with
Hotspurs.
them?
I don't know. Hotspur could be something totally different over there.
Well, if it is, they're doing it wrong. Because Spurs are, I believe, a uniquely American thing. That's a cowboy thing.
Hotspurs is probably like the English word for pancakes or something.
Or are they just good-looking Spurs? They're hot Spurs.
Wow.
If that's the case, they should call them the sexy Spurs instead. I think that's right.
I think I'm starting to realize there's a reason why we didn't have too many new members of the flock this week.
Fair. Not even bad this week. Like I can't even make anybody feel guilty. I know that I 3/4 have mailed this show in, and the banner's been so-so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get in the flock, I'll take it out of pity. Yeah. And
it's the Christmas season. Show pity.
That's about the only reason to.
You have Santa stuff going on. It's amazing that I could even get you in this week.
I ran the booth all by myself yesterday. I took the orders, I shot the pictures, I printed and packaged the orders, and it was a feat.
I hope Santa let you eat some of his cookies.
Oh no. Santa will straight stab you.
That was totally a euphemism.
Then I hope not.
Ryan Peterson in the flock.
Hey, all right, Ryan. Thank you.
He was at 5, edited up to 12, and he says, well, a Twitter bet is a Twitter bet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you weren't aware of this.
Okay.
But next time, I'll check the injury report before I start tweeting. Unless I jinxed Penny, which is a distinct possibility. Either way, maybe we should do it again next week if Penny plays. Now, some background for you, Adam.
Okay.
Our Ryan911 on Twitter said, I bet you $10 that Adam can't say something either positive or not negative about Rashad Penny in the post-game reaction show this week.
Okay.
And this was maybe on Friday or so. And on Saturday, I said, well, this is going to be easy because Penny's not playing.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't let you know about it. And you didn't say anything negative about Penny in the postgame. So Ryan is paying up on his bet.
All right, man. I respect you being a man and like coming through on your bet. Like I'm about to have to do it here at the end of the season with the Rams podcast, guys. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
we're looking like we might both have to pay up on this.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Peter's got a 3rd pick, and Shaq's he had that 2-pick game, and then nothing.
Well, maybe the Mahomes will just like help you out.
But Ryan goes on to say, nothing against Adam. I definitely enjoy hearing his rants and how often he has me laughing along with him. I just think he's a bit hard on Penny in particular. Don't get me wrong, Chris Carson is the man. But Penny has been really exciting this year. He's had several huge plays, and I'm excited to watch him. So next time Penny does something awesome, hoping to hear Adam say, that was awesome, rather than, wow, he hates running up the middle or whatever else. Give the man some props. He's been a solid addition to the lineup. On another note, wow, the 49ers game was super frustrating. Self-inflicted damage is the worst. Definitely still feeling good about the season, though. Excited about the Chiefs game, and the playoffs are right around the corner. Last thing, I really appreciate the show you did about Paul Allen. That really had me shook, and worry about the team's future started to seep in. Feeling good right now, though. From all reports, the post-Paul era has been planned for, even if we don't know those plans yet. Thanks for all the great shows, guys. Go Hawks.
Yeah, go Hawks, Ryan. So, to kind of play along with Ryan's wishes here, and in the Christmas spirit, I'm going to say something not negative about Penny.
Okay.
He's been all right. He's okay.
He's had a decent rookie year.
Yeah, it's
you're not even going to go decent
for a first round pick.
Goodness,
I don't know. He's okay.
But he left a note for us about trying to do a one-time donation, not being able to do that through Patreon at gettintheflock.com.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say, the best way for a one-time donation is go to seahawkerspodcast.com/support, or you can Venmo. Seahawkers Podcast is our handle on Venmo.
Venmo's a real thing then, huh?
Yeah.
This isn't a scam?
No.
Oh, okay.
Real deal.
I all of a sudden I've started seeing these Venmo emails every so often show up in the Seahawker, and I don't know. I thought it was a scam from like Libya.
It's like PayPal, except they don't charge you fees.
Well, how does that work?
I don't know. It's magic.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a scam.
It's worked.
Yeah, I know it's worked. Yeah. I don't know. Just anything that's not cash, I feel leery about. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, you have something I want, I have money, and then you hand me the stuff I want, and then I hand you money. Mm-hmm. That's about the only thing in the world that feels legit for payment to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're handing people value in terms of the entertainment of the show.
Right. Yeah.
And
I wish they could just drive to Montana and hand us money.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because then we'd be able to say, hey.
We'd have a beer or 10. Talk about the amazing Rashad Penny.
We don't have a lot of first-round running backs in Seahawks history to choose from.
I know.
You have Kurt Warner.
Right.
Who was awesome right away, first year, 1,400 yards.
Indeed.
You have Sean Alexander. And you have Rashad Penny.
Okay.
Those are your three.
All right. He's got a ways to go.
Sean Alexander's rookie season.
Yeah.
313 yards.
Right.
Just 41 receiving yards.
He turned out to be a bum.
Yeah. Sean Alexander.
I bet you if I'd have been doing like Seahawks commentary, then it would have been something along the lines of, why'd they waste their money on this?
Alexander guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Alabama.
Yeah. He's big and everything, but he doesn't run up the middle.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, I would love to be dead wrong and have my nose rubbed into it about Rashad Penny. I hope he turns into Barry Sanders 2.0.
Well, that'd be fine too, but it would also be fine if you had a running back like Chris Carson who got 1,200 yards a year, and you had Rashad Penny that came in and had 600 or 700 yards per year.
Sure.
Two guys that would take you to 2,000 yards rushing.
Yeah. I don't care how we get there.
That's a successful backfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay to have two guys that are good.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's okay for Chris Carson to be the better one of those two guys.
That works for me.
Okay.
Yeah. They can even be equal at some point. That's fine.
Rashad Penny on the season, already 477 yards. 5.1.
Are they measuring lateral yards? Like when he runs side to side?
No. This is actual yards gained.
This is north-south gain yards, huh? Okay.
Yeah. 477 yards, 5.1 yards per attempt. That beat Sean Alexander's rookie season of 4.9 yards per attempt. And both he and Alexander have 2 touchdowns in their rookie season.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I was projecting he doesn't have 477 yards. He's on pace for 477.
What does he have then?
Like 413.
Oh, okay. All right. That's close enough.
He's still over what Alexander had.
Okay. That's fine.
Chris Carson's on pace for over 1,000 yards. Mm-hmm. On pace. Ricky Waters, his season with Alexander, he had 1,200 yards. He had 613 receiving yards.
Ricky Waters was a stud, dude.
I think that was his second to last season in the league, too.
Yep.
And he was still going strong.
He's a hell of a player, man.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think the body of work's too short.
Yeah,
I think if he would have been Terrell Davis and ended up on like a Super Bowl team somehow, like for a year or two.
Wasn't he on the Niners Super Bowl team?
Yeah, early, like one.
Yeah.
But like TD like won 2 rings back to back. It was like do you think Ricky Waters was the driving force
of the number one guy in the NFL like Terrell Davis was?
Right. So I think that's your difference.
What do you say we get into some do better and better at life?
Sounds like a plan, man.
My do better this week. I was doing some Christmas browsing. Went to seahawkerspodcast.com/fan to go to Fanatics.
Okay.
And I came across something that disturbed me.
Oh.
Mitchell and Ness. They're the ones that do the throwback style jerseys.
Okay.
They have a pretty good variety of them.
Mm-hmm.
You got Steve Largent.
Okay.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Cortez Kennedy.
All right.
Hall of Famer. Kenny Easley. Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got the number 12, popular retired number
Ring of Honor
team.
Yeah.
There was a 5th jersey.
Really? Was it George Fant?
No. You got to think throwback.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Was it Norm Johnson?
That's a good guess.
Okay.
I would take a Norm Johnson Seahawks throwback.
Sure.
I'll give you some more hints.
Oh, I got to actually guess this.
It wasn't Jacob Green.
Okay.
Wasn't Joe Nash. Not even Jeff Bryant.
Okay.
Wasn't Jim Zorn.
It wasn't Kurt Warner.
Not even Rufus Porter.
Okay. Not Brian Blades.
No. Okay, let's go down a little bit farther. Pro Football Reference, they assign a number to a player for approximate value for the kind of impact they've had on the field.
Right.
Steve Largent, for example, number 1, has 140. 140 is his approximate value to the Seahawks organization. Right. Cortez Kennedy, 120.
Sure.
The number was 11. Equal to recent players like Paul Richardson and Luke Wilson.
Who was a long snapper in 1987?
So at the level of Paul Richardson, Luke Wilson, tied for 218th most impactful player in franchise history.
Okay.
Can you name that player?
No. I was out of guesses a while ago.
It's Brian Bosworth.
Oh, the Boz. That makes sense.
The Boz was the 5th throwback jersey.
All right. Well, I kind of get it.
Walter Jones doesn't even have a throwback in their line of throwbacks.
Okay, that's a problem.
I would totally wear a Dave Craig throwback. Give me a Chris Warren throwback jersey.
Yeah.
I'm also mad that they don't do custom jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not do custom throwback jerseys? And you're going to have Bosworth? Bosworth retired in 1989. You know who else left in 1989? Kurt Warner.
Mom. Oh.
Who you also guessed.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mitchell's responsible. It seems like it's more Mitchell than Ness.
Oh, for sure.
But Ness is
for sure. Ness is an accomplice. Like he's
guilty by association.
Correct. Yeah. But Mitchell, he's a real catfish kid.
Mitchell and Ness do better.
Okay. Well, especially Mitchell.
Screw you, Frank.
That's pretty funny.
I think Frank actually passed. So R.I.P. Frank.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well,
I think
way to pee on his grave, dude.
Kind of an old company.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they do old throwbacks.
You said doo-doo.
You never let that one slip. That's for sure. All right. My do better this week is for Elf on the Shelf.
Yeah.
Where the hell did this come from?
Oh, yeah. This is a thing.
Yeah, I know it's a thing, but like I had never heard of it in my life up until maybe like 5-6 years ago. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden you start seeing people and they didn't explain it. Like it just came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like people are just taking pictures of this creepy little doll, like doing things throughout their house, like randomly with no explanation. And not only that, but they're rarely on a freaking shelf.
The creepy look on its face is part of the charm.
No, it's not.
Like, I did something and...
Yeah, that looks like that. Yeah, he looks like a serial murderer. Like that's what he looks like.
That's a little far.
No, he'll get all stabby and come at you in your sleep, and then go sit like underneath the kitchen table with an orange for like no reason.
Mischievous look.
I don't understand this phenomenon for anything. I don't know where it came from. This isn't a Christmas tradition. This is just some new crap. The whole thing, like the elf is watching or something. Like I guess is how it works. Yeah, it's a lie. The elf isn't watching. It's an inanimate object. A creepy one. Not only that, you can't just use any old stuffed animal or anything, right? It's that specific elf. You got to buy like the one from the company.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a cartel, and they're making undue money off of Christmas for like no reason. And this is coming from a dude who runs a freaking Santa photo booth in the mall. Elf on the Shelf. It's stupid. I'm tired of seeing everybody's pictures. I don't care about your elf. Do better.
Coming strong at the elf.
I hate that thing.
You should be glad you didn't have an elf watching you as a kid.
He would have been buried in the woods. I know the ground was frozen and everything, but I'd have taken a pickaxe and like gotten that done.
You are not going back to Santa with what you saw today.
Nope. They, the snitches, they get stitches. Like that's how it goes.
See, this is what your problem is. You think the elf is a snitch.
He is a snitch. He's an informant. Santa can't be everywhere at all times, but apparently his little clone army of creepy elves can be.
Look, population growth has expanded since we were kids. This is why it wasn't a thing when we were growing up.
Oh,
so Santa decided
this is about population growth.
I can't be everywhere, but I need eyes and ears on all kids at all times.
So, oh gosh, that's gross. I don't like it.
You need to take this up with Santa Mike.
Oh yeah,
to take back to the man.
Yeah, you're right. Santa Mike and I need to have a conversation at the booth today. Yeah,
on to Better at Life.
All right. My Better at Life this week, Brandon, is for TJ Hushmanzada. And I know a lot of you will be like, wait, what? He can never be better at life because you know what he did, which was nothing.
If you make me have to spell Hushmanzada for the show notes this week,
you made me guess.
You're going to be in my.
You made me guess Bosworth out of the blue. So basically,
at least the biggest decision I have with Bosworth is do I spell it with an S or a Z? Hushmanzada, I know there's a Z in there and an S. I don't know if it's SH or SCH.
Here's the best part. Nobody will call you out if you got it wrong because they don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Google's involved, nobody has a clue.
That's true.
So anyways, TJ Hushmanzada was on with Colin Cowherd. I believe it was this morning. And they were going through the playoff teams, and he looks at TJ and he says, so which of the playoff teams do you not believe in that you think is a fraud? And he thinks for a second. He goes, I'm going to have to say the Rams.
Nice.
He's like, their defense is terrible. They only have one running back, and he's hurt. They have no depth. Once Kupp was gone, they're terrible. And their offensive line is old, and you can see it because they've played awful the last 3 weeks. Jared Goff has thrown 6 picks in the last 3 games to 1 touchdown. His arm's tired. He looks scared. He's seeing ghosts. This team has all these great names on defense, but they stink on defense. And they're not going to go far in the playoffs. And for TJ Hushmanzada to realize that it's now happening, the prediction is coming true, that this team would implode the first sense of adversity and all the finger pointing would start, and Sean McVay, frat boy McVay, wouldn't be able to hold it together, and Wade Phillips would just be over there collecting checks, grinning, not been able to get it done. Man, it's happening. And I am so happy for it. And I appreciate TJ Hushmanzada for coming out and recognizing that he is better at life than Skip Bayless.
Yeah, pointing it out to the national audience while Skip he's probably still on the Rams hype train.
I don't know. I've started to see the articles and everything start to come out about the decline of the Rams and the cracks of the Rams.
Just in time.
Yeah. They may lose out, and I think they've got easy games going out. I think the Cardinals are this week, and then
they're not going to lose to the Cardinals.
They might,
but it would be cool.
They might lose to the Cardinals.
I hope they do. I'll be rooting for it.
They're not doing good right now.
No,
and Fratty McVay doesn't know what to do. You can see him start to turn on his team. It used to be he would take all the criticism. Now he's like, we got to execute better. The plays are there.
This is not my fault. It's your fault.
The finger pointing has begun.
Yeah, hey, it happened with Arians too.
Mm-hmm.
And Arians, he didn't win a Super Bowl as a coach.
No. Next Browns coach.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know he's thrown his name out there saying that he wants it.
Yeah.
It's the only job he'd come back for.
Right. You have to. I don't know what coach wants to be the Browns coach. I wouldn't. I know it started to look better this year and everything, but once every 5-6 years, the Browns have that semi-promising season. They're a fringe playoff contender, and then they're the Browns again.
Yeah.
No matter who goes there.
I'd like to see the trajectory of Andrew Whitworth because he has looked a lot more shaky to me going down the stretch at left tackle for the Rams.
They all have. That offensive line has been just tragic the last couple of weeks. They've been manhandled.
But Whitworth is 36?
Huh? No. He's 94.
He's pretty old.
Yeah. I think he fought in World War II.
He did have a full career in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then I think he retired for 10 years and then came back to play for the Rams.
Yeah. I wanted him to play for a year for the Seahawks. And this is year 3 with the Rams?
Yeah.
And the wheels on the bus fall off, 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 off. Bye-bye, Rams.
My better life this week is for Marshawn Lynch. Former Seahawks running back, showed up to an Oakland City Council meeting this last week to voice his support for keeping the Oakland baseball team.
Yeah.
And he did it in the most Marshawn way possible.
Of course he did.
Rocking his hoodie, his shorts, black socks and sandals.
Yeah.
Got up to the microphone, says, "We're losing the Warriors. We're losing the Raiders. Best not lose the A's. Appreciate it." Step back from the microphone. He gave a little wave.
Yeah. Okay.
And was done. Step back from the microphone and that's all he had to do.
Enough said.
But I think about how many times can any of us say that we've gone to a city council meeting to speak up for something that's important to us. I know I haven't.
I have once.
One time.
Yes.
There you go. And it's not that hard.
You know what? I was honestly nervous.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe Marshawn was a little nervous too.
I was like, this road needs to stay open and like stuff. So yeah. And if anybody says something to the contrary, I'll probably just say, okay.
See,
I was really young. I was like 23.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Now you have some Marshawn Lynch, the way he's gone about it, to fall back on.
So I should have been more
you
like...
You should have said, you close this road, you close this road. Best not close my road.
This is the last road. Best not close it.
Appreciate it.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Except he didn't have to drop the mic. He just stepped back away from it.
Yeah, but it's not as dramatic.
No.
But then again, I guess...
You don't need to be dramatic.
No, you just need to be
Marshawn got his point across.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. And if I ever have an issue to take to city council...
Now you got it.
I'm going to do it
you
like
have the
Marshawn.
formula. Yeah. Do you do it in a hoodie?
Yes. Not sandals and socks, though.
No, somehow that is a professional athlete look that needs to die. Like, they're not immune to how bad that looks. And this is coming from somebody who apparently wears horrendous footwear.
Yeah. I think Marshawn can get away with, though.
The only time socks and sandals is appropriate is at night around a campfire.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only place.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happens to be the footwear that you had for all day while you're out camping.
Yeah.
It's gotten a little
you
chilly.
Take off your shoes.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense. So for Marshawn Lynch, rocking the socks and sandals and going to speak up at city council.
All right.
Better at life than Skip Bayless.
Well, cool, dude. Glad we got this show in. I think I'm off to go make small children cry on a stranger's lap.
Maybe Santa Mike needs to do better.
Oh, no. He brings us all up. He's the only reason we succeed.
And with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Thanks, Mike.
Russell Wilson.
Did you say Russell Wilson? Is he Rumpelstiltskin now? Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
Is he spinning like touchdowns into gold? Like, what's going on here? Boy, the holidays have affected you, man. This is not good.
This is not good.
Well, so Russell Stiltskin.
Russell Wilson can have all.
It was really fun to watch you like try to get it right that time. Okay, so Russell Wilson can do what now?